There are schools all over the world for which you can study almost any subject. But what if what you wanted to study was astrology? Is there such a thing as a Hogwarts type school where you can learn astrology? So the short answer is you most definitely can go to school for astrology. So I personally graduated from the International Academy of Astrology. They are based in Cleveland in Ohio, but it is a virtual university. So people around the world can just enroll, register themselves, and we all go to class online. Okay, so it took me 3.5 years to graduate. So this actually was a college diploma in modern astrology. So as a little plug to myself, I am the first Asian to graduate from the International Academy of Astrology in the history of the college. Okay, but in Singapore, where I'm based, I also have a school here. I call it Astrology Academy. So we've run it for about 6 years as of the time I'm making this video. We have students coming from more than 12 countries around the world. So you most definitely can go to school for astrology. But you see, before you start shopping for a school, there are some questions that you kind of need to answer. Number one is, if you can study astrology on your own, online, via books, articles, so on and so forth, why would it be necessary for you to go to school? Okay, so there are some benefits of having an official astrological education, and some of these include the fact that if you study from a book, it's easy to get stuck in just fixated on what does Venus in Aquarius mean, or what does Venus in the 9th house mean. But then it becomes kind of hard to put it all into a story, into what does it all mean? Is there an interpretation behind all of this? Okay, so in class, we are more focused on interpretation rather than just mentally regurgitating what we're memorizing from books. So that's the first. And the second, which I feel is most important, is the practical application. If you think about it, just by reading books, you're not going to be able to read charts. Okay, so in class, we use live examples, and I frequently use my own students as examples. So what it simply means is I could pick one chart from the class, everybody jumps in, you apply immediately what you've learned, and the best part is you get immediate and honest feedback from your potential client about whether you're right or you're wrong. Okay, and also additional information that might help with interpreting charts in the long run. So one of the biggest problems I found when people study astrology on their own is that they tend to focus on specific planet signs and houses that they personally are more familiar with. For example, if you have no Virgo in your chart, so you might find yourself paying more attention to the signs that you personally have. Let's just say you're an Aquarius, for example. You may have a lot of planets in Pisces and Capricorn. So then you become kind of like a mini expert in those signs that you're familiar with. You may have family members who are, say, who may be Taurus or who may be Gemini, and you'll be familiar with that because you understand the behavior of people like that in your life. But let's just say you don't have anyone in your family who has strong Cancerian or Virgo characteristics, and none of your friends happen to be strongly any of these signs. And you might find that if you opened your doors to do consultations for clients, and let's just say you had somebody who had most of the planets in Cancer and Virgo, you're going to have a hard time. Right, so one of the things that we advocate in class is that this is not about our personal experience, but rather you need to get a fundamental understanding of all the planets, signs and houses. Okay, so this is some of the best parts. Also, my students really enjoy learning from each other. It really helps that when we are reading charts in class, that sometimes my students have opposing views. So some people feel that, oh, this sign exhibits this behavior. Someone says, I disagree. And sometimes, you know, it's in the debate and the discussion that my students learn the most, and we get a lot of laughter and a real community. Sometimes it's lonely to learn astrology on your own, right? Personally, when I first started learning astrology, lots of people around me were skeptical. They didn't think that this was something that was worth the time and the effort to learn. And what I've created in Astrology Academy is a community. So if you wanted to learn more about Chiron or the asteroids, there's always somebody in class who's happy to share a book or or some kind of like a video or anything with you, right? And you can always start a discussion here in class, okay? So now if you are based here in Southeast Asia, my school and myself, I'm based in Singapore. Now if you yourself based in Southeast Asia, I think you might find that Astrology Academy offers one of the most structured and professional educations in astrology in the entire region. We start our education as simply as the basics for planet sign house. So it doesn't matter if you're a complete beginner or you may be looking at charts for the very first time, that's cool with me. So we start with that, and we even go as far as looking at human behavior. So once you have the basics, we want to start looking at career profiles, relationship profiles, communication profiles, and also human psychology. I even go as far as to talk about the basics of like counseling, not counseling as a tool itself, but using astrology as a listening and profiling tool that you can use for helping people with problems. And for those of you who are looking to go professional, I also have a professional program where we are not just training people in chart reading, but also client handling, and very important skills that ensures that astrologers can make a living out of your skills, such as things like marketing yourself, things like handling your clients, attracting the right people. How do you even make a practice out of astrology? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that it might not be so easy for you to find any kind of education in astrology that might give you a path right from being a complete beginner all the way to being able to practice fully as a professional, right? So if this is something that you're looking for, please get in touch with me, okay? So send us an email at hello@selfastrology.com, and we'll be happy to provide you with much more information about an astrological education. So if you're watching this for the first time and you'd like to have a look at your astrological birth chart, so refer to the link at the bottom of this video. You can access my free chart generator. Please remember you need your accurate birth time. So go in there, have a look at your chart, and get started on your journey of understanding yourself. Right? So for more videos on astrology and life transformation, you might want to like, subscribe, and follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. They ask me, wait, what does an astrologer actually do? Do you go out at night